Hello Antioch, I'm Alex John Astorga, your candidate for Antioch City Council, District 4. Well, we're about a week away from Election Day, and I thought I'd do a little bit of a recap about my campaign and also answer some of your questions. So just to recap, I'm a $0 candidate. I am not contributing any of my own money or taking donations from anyone else. I have also sought no endorsements from any other outside agencies. I want to only serve the residents of Antioch. I have no party preference. I represent District 4, but I want what's best for all of Antioch. There's been some demographic questions about me. Yes, I am a Mexican. My father is 100% Mexican. My mother was Irish and Swedish. I am gay. Yes, I've been married to my husband. Well, I've been with my husband for 30 years. We've been married since July of 2013, I think is when we first were able to get married. I'm a small business owner, and I'm a veteran. I am honorably discharged after 6 years of being in the Air Force. I managed to get my bachelor's degree and a master's while I was in the Air Force. So that's basically, also I'm a small business owner. I've had a company here in Antioch since 2013. I was born and raised down in Southern California and brought up in the San Gabriel Valley. I moved up here to the Bay Area in 2001. We lived in San Francisco for 10 years, and we've lived out here in Antioch since 2010. One of the questions has been about my experience and that I have a lack of experience with government. That is true. I have never been an elected official. However, I have worked for the government many times in many different levels. I started working with the government at the federal level, and then I've also worked with the county. I worked with the county for, like 4 years, and I have worked for the city of Palo Alto for over 4 years as well. I was a project manager with the city of Palo Alto, at which time I was very familiar with the budgets and working with the city council, working with city manager's office and various directors. So I have plenty of experience working with cities. The city of Palo Alto is a little bit different than we have here in Antioch. They're quite a bit smaller, about half the size, 66,000, and their budget is just a lot bigger than ours. Their budget's $734 million. The Palo Alto Police Department ranks 4th in the nation, and they have a really good reputation with the citizens. This is something that I would like to bring here to Antioch, is the reimagining of public safety in Antioch and what it means to serve here in Antioch. I like to think of myself as a fiscal conservative and a progressive. I want to see Antioch move forward. We are the 3rd largest city here in Contra Costa County, and I think we need to start setting the example and becoming the 3rd largest city here in Contra Costa County. We need to start working towards some clear goals. One of the goals I'd like to see is addressing homelessness, or the unhoused more accurately. This is a huge undertaking, but I think it's something that we can start working on and working towards. Basically, that means more jobs and more affordable housing and more food security. That was one of the things I recently learned, that for every 1% of food insecurity a community experiences, you get a 13% rise in violent crime. So we can address so much by doing the same steps for crime prevention, for homelessness, for food insecurity. All these things can be handled by doing the same things. I'd like us to look at a greener Antioch. I know District 1 is not my district, but that is the downtown in the heart of Antioch, and I would like to see that they take the old lumber mill and turn it into a green area, a public park. I'd like to see a nice little river walk. There's some things that I'd really like Antioch to get involved in. I'd like to see us have a zero carbon footprint. So not just a neutral carbon footprint, but I'd like to say attain zero. That is not going to be easy, and it's not going to happen fast, but it is something you have to think about and something that you have to believe in order for it to even be accomplished. Okay, so a post-pandemic Antioch, what is that going to look like? What are the jobs going to be like? What is going to be available to people? This is what we need to start considering, and we've got to consider it now. It's going to be a year from now before we completely and utterly emerge from this pandemic, but this is something that we have to really think about. So if you have want to delve into any of these topics that I just discussed any further, I've got more videos, more information on my Facebook page. I invite you to please go ahead and take a look at that. I very much encourage you to go out and vote, please. You know, this is such an important time for us to vote. This is not just a normal election year. This is an election year that we had a census, and this census needs to be where we redraw our voting districts. And so this is going to be a super important year for voting, and voting for the right people in the right offices. There's been a lot of saying that the current city council and city leadership is not have been as effective as they should have been, and that's part of the reason why I decided to run for office. But please make your decision carefully, and I'd like to think that I could do a really good job for us here in Antioch. Thank you very much again for listening to my video, and I encourage you to all vote, and thank you again, and let's all be good to each other, Antioch. Thank you.